Hey, Shalom. Kahalo Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Waha, Wachakodash, double honors to the apostles, great millstone. Peace and blessings to you again, pushing this word and truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. This is Amathi from the GMS Dallas camp. I want to go into a quick lesson. Lord willing, this will be edifying to the hopefully elect. All right. I wanted to go into this devil, which is Esau Edom, which is the so-called white man. The reason I wanted to go into it, I was the other day I was actually meditating, just thinking, and something came up, you know, through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that when you look at these movies and even the paintings and things like that of the apostles and what have you, all you do is see majority of the time you see what Edomites, white people, all the time. So then it goes into what these Christians say that everyone can be saved, and no matter what color, just believe and you could be saved. You don't have to worship Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, but at any point you can just say, okay, I believe, and you can be saved. But that goes into being, like you say, you can be saved being African. You can be saved being a Chinese man. You can, how do you say a Chinese man? Someone from China, a Chinese, or you can do Arabian, or just on and on. Japanese. But when you go and look at this, look at the things that like the paintings and the different depictions of the apostles that they put into your paintings and in movies, a lot of times to be what these right here, Esau, pale face. Look at that. You can see that. These are the things that you see. So they make you think, well, if that's the case, if everyone could be saved, I mean, Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, he didn't have no other disciple but white men. I mean, if everyone could be saved, all different nationalities, you didn't have no one else to be a disciple but Edomites. All right. And that lets you know that this man is basically has lied is lying upon the scriptures. All right. What do first of all, let's go ahead and get this. Because what do it say in the scriptures here? This man has been on the earth and lying. And when you get to Job 9:24, it says the earth is, you know what, before we get that, let's get this here. I want to get what I was thinking about. We'll go to Job for this. This is Job 13 and verse 4. And when you read upon Job, he was in the land of Uz, and that's why a lot of these so-called Christians or scholars try to say he was not a Jake. He was not a Israelite. All right, but no matter what, even Paul said he was a Roman. Saying he had a Roman citizenship, but he was from the tribe of Benjamin. All right. Cornelius was a general of an Italian band, but it's the area they were living in. That doesn't make, if I'm a Jake, so-called black man, and if I'm born over in China or somewhere like that, that's I'm still a so-called black man. So that can debunk that easily. But this is all the things that this man's do. This is Job 13 and 4. And that's why Job was actually calling out and basically pointing out who the damn devil is. This is Job 13 and 4. But ye are the forgers of lies. Ye are all physicians of no value. All right. So this man is a forger of lies. And one thing he did lie, he's the biggest identity thief in history. All right. He is the biggest identity thief in history. Now this is Job 9 and 24. It says the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. All right. And who is the wicked? Whoever that is who is over this. Now look at your world leaders and then look at their nationality. Or look at their who they are. They are majority of them are Edomites. Look at who's battling now. America, Ukraine, Russia, all these are having that's what we've been hearing more about. Uh, the West is trying to help out Ukraine. They're trying to provide them with aid against what? Against Russia. And when you look at the leaders, who are you seeing? Nothing but pale face. All right. All right. So let's go back in 9 and 24. Job. It says the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. So when you look at who is controlling it, you can just go based off the events that's happening in the world today, and you see who the wicked is, who controls it. You can't help but to say it's the so-called white man. And it says he covers the faces of the judges thereof. And who is one of the biggest judges that they covered? That was Yahweh Shah, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And it tells you in the scripture his likeness, how he looked. Okay, the depiction of him. All right, you can read about that in Revelations 1. All right, it says, if not, where and who is he? If you can't to find out who it is, then they're asking who is he. And one thing you can go to is pictures and different videos of who he is. Who is all the images, majority of the images, and who are the majority of the movies is the depiction of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. If we're in the last days, especially the last days of the last days, who is the earth given to? Who, if you think of a Roman or a Greek, who do you think of? A so-called paleface. If you think of America, the first thing it is a melting pot. It's like this is the Babylon, the ancient daughter of Babylon. This is Babylon the Great here. Okay, virgin daughter Babylon, as it says in Isaiah 24, and it also said who ought to be destroyed. You most likely gonna think of an Edomite because that's who runs the nation. That's who runs the world. Look at all your bankers and look at all your movie producers. Majority of them and the ones that are establishing and pushing out the agenda are so-called white men. All right. And they are high-minded. They're proud. Okay. And what did Obadiah, what did it say? All right. When he said it was a rumor in Edom and it was in the first verse. Well, it's only one chapter, but it said that like around the third verse, it said the pride in thine heart has deceived thee, that thou dwelleth in the clefts of the rocks, and the habitation that is high, and he said in his heart, who shall bring me down? And those are what we read about in Job 9 and 24. He's a forger of lies, and he's established here in America off of what? Through blood. All right. So this man is a liar, and he have established here just like he did then, like he said, get over it. And what did he do when he came into over here to the west part of the hemisphere? He killed the Native Americans, all right, which are Israelites, and he spilled a lot of blood. And what do it say in Habakkuk 2, verse 12? Woe to him that buildeth a town with blood and establish a city by iniquity. All right, so constant going, doing wicked shit, sin. Who built that? Who did that here in America and said, okay, we found it? You can't come and found somewhere. That's what a snail do. A snail come and takes your, see something that's in there, but the snail, it got to be empty, an empty shell for a snail to go into a seashell. But with Esau, he saw someone in the seashell. He saw some inhabitants here in the Western Hemisphere who brought them in and basically brought them back to health with all because they were dying. All right. And the so-called Native Americans did what? They brought them back to health. And what did he do? He brought them out from and brought them from being in a healthy physical state to killing them with smallpox. And that is history. You can read about that. And then did what he could to come what? Destroy him. And that was starting with who? Cristobal Colon. And that's we're going into around the time where Esau came back into power. He was let loose for a little season to do his wickedness, so the Lord could build him up and bring him down in these last days. So when you say you don't know who the wicked is, oh, best believe it is you. Best believe it is known because the Lord has revealed it. All right, He has revealed it. So I'm going to give one more scripture here. This is 2 Thessalonians 2. I'm going to start at verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by coming of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, which is who the world will say is a so-called black man today, if they saw him, and by our gathering together unto him. And who is him? Yahushua, Yahushua, Yahushua. That ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter, as from us, as that the day of Yahushua is at hand. And we see that, all right? And the Lord said, measure the time diligently itself, and at the very same time that Yahushua will be a visiting the earth which he made, all right? You can read about that in 2nd Esdras, and I think that's 9. Let me just confirm. Yeah, 2nd Esdras 9, all right? And you can read about that when it's going to measure the time. And that's what we do here as prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And what do prophecy mean? To say before. All right. All right. So it says, verse 3, let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there be a falling away first. And we fell away as being the Israelites. And that had to be done as well. And especially in these last times where we can be raised back up, and like as Yahweh Shem Yahushua is preparing what? The second covenant. So we're in that mercy period, that grace period, and to get prepared for that second covenant to come upon and be established upon the earth. And people say, are we in the second covenant now? And look at the world today. The Lord said he's going to prepare a place for us, and is also preparing to do what? Come back and not meet thee as a man, to do what? Purify the earth, so that second covenant can be truly established, and do away with that second. And it started all off with Yahushua laying his life, walking his perfect walk upon the earth, laying his life down for a select few. Okay, then that goes into the elect. All right. So it says, except there come and falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. All right. So that man of sin is being revealed, who covered the faces of the judges thereof. All right. And that's him. He covered the faces of the judges and put his the likeness of his face. Right. That's what who rules do. They're going to take away and do away and say, okay, even with establishing these damn gods, like with Easter, the damn bunny and this and that, that's Ishtar. But he basically took it and said, we're going to make it into our, establish it for our God. And we're going to say, hey, let's do it on Sunday, Easter Sunday. Yes, that's the God. Christmas. All right. All these things. Look at the day, the months, January, February, Janos, March. Okay. All these are, like I say, Esau has not changed his ways, and he's still following his customs as Greeks and Romans. All right. If you go over here to Renaissance Flash cards, okay, that's Quizlet.com. It says here the turning point, the period in which things change and improve majorly, similar to the Golden Age. Now, I want to say the Golden Age is around for during the Grecians, if I'm not mistaken. You can look that up. It says the Renaissance was a turning point in history where everything improved and people opinions and change and ideas changed. Okay, so he came and changed the minds of the people. All right, he changed the mind of the people, and he basically and ideas and things changed. All right, the way of right living, things changed, and he put his likeness and said, "This is the way." And you look at these and say, "Okay, look at the apostles and look at who they call Jesus, Jeebus." All right, looking soft as ever. Look at that. Howard Shaw didn't look that damn soft. He didn't have a perm. All right. And he said this man would be revealed, and we're calling this man out. We're calling this nigga out, Esau Edom, so-called white man, and saying, "Hey, you know what I'm saying? You revealed. We know who you are. You know that you the vagabond. All right. We we know that you are the wicked one of the earth. It is three classes of men. You have the sons of the Most High. All right. You have the sons of man, and you have sons of the wicked. Sons of the Most High, you so-called Black Latinos and Native Americans. All right. And then you have the sons of men, which are the other heathen nations. And then you have the sons of the wicked. And they took on that deception of that spirit that was in the garden as that serpent. All right. And it says here, and this is just an example during the time of the Grecians. All right. Verse 48, First Maccabees 3 and 48. And laid open the book of the law, wherein the heathen had sought. And who was the top heathen? Psalms 83 said they covered, they took Israel and cut them off of being a nation with the other heathen nations. And the first one he started off with is Esau Edom. It says, wherein the heathen has sought to paint the likeness of their image. And that's what they did. All right. They took to paint the likeness of their image because they rule the world. And they know that now it's a short time for them to continue ruling because they are seeing the chariots and seeing Yahweh Shai making moves on the earth, which he's made, going back to 2nd Ezra 9. And they're looking to do what? Continue to reign forever. But they're going to be brought low and they're going to be destroyed. All right. They're going to be destroyed. I'm going to get one more and close it out here. This is Joel. This is Joel 3 and verse 19. It says, Egypt shall be a desolation and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. All right. And for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. All right. And what is our land? The land of Israel. But if you see today, where is the majority of Israel roaming and is presiding? Here in America, because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. And same goes for Esau. And look what happened when they decimated the northern kingdom. All right, which is your Latinos. All right, what did he? And he brought us over in the southern kingdom on slave ships and continued his shedding of the blood, as we just read in Habakkuk 2 and 12. By he defiled this land by the bloodshed that he did to what? The nation of Israel. All right. And he said he's gonna become desolate for the violence of his the children of Judah, because he has shed innocent blood in their land. But Judah shall dwell forever in Jerusalem from generation to generation. So he won't destroy us all, because the Lord will just continue that. But it do say it will be no flesh left if the Lord don't shorten these times up. Because look what Esau doing. He's trying to get everybody still to take the jab, even though it ain't a mandate been kind of taken off, but yet he's keep telling you it's more things coming. He's setting up for a famine in the land. He's looking to do away with billions of people with a B, billions, before he can get it down like the Georgia Guidestone to 500 million. And it's only true. Look it up. Do research. All right, verse 21. For I will cleanse their blood that I have not cleansed, for the Yahweh Shai dwelleth in Zion. He dwelleth with us. And like you said, that new covenant will be established for the same people through that promise. The promise was made before the covenant that was established, and that was actually talked about in uh, this Saturday that we have class in. Okay, so that we had class. I think we went into Romans 10. But that promise was established before the covenant, and that way that second covenant is still presides with who within